All right, here's a couple pitches, or here's a pitch from last night for you to look at and some things. I'll let it run through one time, and then we'll talk about them. That was a good pitch there. It was called a strike. So first thing we got to do is talk about what you're doing with Hershiser. Remember, as you lift, you should start traveling forward. So if I put a little line on you right there, as you lift, you should pass that line up. See, you don't notice how that you don't pass that line until you're on the way down. Right now is when you start gaining ground on your target. So the moment you lift your leg, you've got to start traveling forward. Pretty good looking here as you move. Right here you are at foot strike. Notice your opposite and equal. They should be the same. Notice where your glove is. Notice where the ball is. They're not equal. You're doing more like a catcher's throwing motion here. Notice you're throwing it out of your ear. You're coming from right here where your hands separate. You're coming up to your ear. Notice that. So we need to take that ball. We need to take it back here more behind you. We need to put that ball back there a little bit more as you're coming up into your throwing position, so that when you get to opposite and equal, you're going to have a little bit longer line across you up here before you get to there. I like what your glove's doing right here. Notice at release where your glove is. Your glove is in beautiful shape. You haven't tucked any at all. That's fantastic. Last little thing, and let's just talk about it here. Your rotation is pretty good. Here you are at foot strike. Now you'll notice that just as you land, notice where your belt buckle is. Notice just how your belt buckle turns. The end stayed stronger. You can keep that separation a little bit longer. Notice as the end on your jersey turns, notice how the hand and arm lay back. Then notice as the elbow comes, the arm lays back even further. Then the last thing that happens is the hand comes and fires to release the ball out there. Here's the last thing I'm going to talk about with you here is your release point. You're really releasing the ball right there. It's coming out of your hands. So right up over your foot. We need to get that release point to be out here more. Try to stretch your release out to your target. You'll have more success there. Your head and your hat, everything are tracking along very well here. Your drag line, we need to get that to get out there just a little bit longer, I think. The key is going to be in the way you're working with your hands as you come into right there. That's going to give you a lot more velocity and a lot more control. So right there is the biggest thing we want to fix. All right, we'll see you tonight.